The sons of Israel traveled far from Masa'ei to Sukkot. They left the land of Mitzrayim and they camped out at Thames. They turned back to Parishah, which is before Baal-Zephon, and they camped there before Migdol. Then they passed through the sea. They traveled through the wilderness from Etam to Marah. The waters there were bitterness, strife and rebellion. They traveled on to Elim palms. There were 12 springs of water. They turned again to the Red Sea. The plain of Sin came after. From the wilderness of Sin they set out and journeyed on to Dophkah. And after that they camped at Alush until they came to Rephidim. At Rephidim they cried out in thirst, for there was no water. Then from the rock the Mayim burst. At Sinai spoke Abba. They ate the quail, and many fell at Kivrot Hatava. Next they came to Katsorot, where Miriam was leprous. Then the cloud that led them to Ritma in the Paran wilderness. When the spies returned, the people bickered, and so their children wandered. They camped out at remote Peretz and traveled on to Livna. From Livna they went up to Rissah and then to Kel Ata. Next they camped at Mount Shepher, then later to Karada. They sojourned at Machalot, and they came to Tachah. The travels led them off to Terak, then they camped out in Mitcha. From there they went down to Kashmona and journeyed to Motzero. Then they came to Bene Yachan, to the cavern of Hagidgad. Next they camped at Yotvotah and crossed over to Aronah. At Eitzion Gever they arrived, but then they left for Kadesh. It was the wilderness of Tzin, where Moshe struck the rock twice. Aaron went up on the mountain, the one they call Har Hor, and he was gathered to his people at the mitzvah of Yahuwah. By now 40 years had passed, but their journey had just begun. They traveled down to Salmona and pitched their tents at Punon. Moshe made a snake of brass to heal the serpent's fiery. Then after Ovot they did pass to Ieha-avarim. To Medivon God next they traveled and overcame the Amorites. The streams of Ammon, Divlatayim, were on the coast of Moab. In the mountains of Avery men, they camped there before Nebo. And so they marched down to the Jordan and stepped across to Jericho. Yes, they passed over on dry ground.